Okay.
We're not. Yes.
Oh, that is cute.
Hello.
You should have seen the fun we had in the back.
Missed it.
We were off. Nobody's here. Hello.
I got it to go through Safari.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay.
Good.
You just have to switch it to landscape.
Then I don't know where to look. This is better for me. Sorry. I'd rather be small today. I don't want to be big.
I know you don't like when it follows you.
It was doing it before too. It was following me around the room. I hate it. I can't. My eyes are so dry. I could barely focus today.
Somebody's here.
Somebody's here.
Oh wait, it's Dee. Never mind. Hi Dee. Thanks for coming.
Hi, Dee.
I think.
Hey, did you see they got rid of the handles?
Oh yeah, they did.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
Oh,
What is that
So they
thing?
put it back like it was?
Yep.
Hey, Ann.
What are you
Hey,
talking-
Ashley.
hi Ann. I
Hi,
forgot we were
Ashley.
live and I'm going to be typing.
Yeah, I was so glad when they did that because
That was
the
a mess
handles don't match a
yesterday.
lot of their names.
Yeah, that was a mess yesterday. I didn't like that.
Yeah,
Like I said, I haven't been on YouTube all day, so
I mean, nobody liked it.
come here. No.
Now, Jennifer said they didn't do it to all channels.
Right.
It
They
was like,
didn't.
maybe they were trying it. I don't know.
Ann is here too. Hi, Ann.
Hi,
Yeah, I
Ann
told Ann
Yeah,
hi.
hi Ann.
and Ashley.
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 And Dee is here. Hi, Dee.
What y'all doing tonight? Ashley, Ann, are you painting or doing crafts? Dee, what are you doing tonight? Ooh, that's your second one. That's your tabletopper, right?
What are you crying
This
about?
is my third one.
Come here.
That's your tabletopper, though?
Yeah, this is just a centerpiece.
Oh, okay. Very pretty. Oops. Hi,
Yes,
Angie.
these oddities.
I am making a coffee mug. I mean, a hot cocoa mug. So it's my little marshmallow. And then here's another marshmallow.
Those
Oh
are
my
cute.
goodness.
So
Hey,
cute.
Angie.
Hi, it's me, Angie. Prayers.
Prayers for you, honey.
Definitely going to be praying extra hard.
Hi,
Take
Ann.
care of yourself. I
It's
watched
gonna
your.
be fine. Hey, Angie, look at it like a little vacation.
What's going on?
Shut up. No.
Where are you parking?
I knew what you were going to say right there. Shush.
What?
You were going to say a little vacation for my singing.
No, I was not. But since she said it, Angie, I didn't.
What's going on?
I told Angie has to go in the hospital, and I said,
Angie,
think of
sorry.
it as a little vacation, Angie. And
Fun
she thought I
vacation.
was going to say from her singing, but I was not.
You were
She
thinking-
did it.
You were thinking it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love
Ann?
you.
Oh, nice, Anne.
You'll like it, Ann.
Tony.
I'm a quilter. You can see my quilting machine back there.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's working. Maybe he thought the door was closed. Don't close the door on me. Or close it, close it. I have air conditioning at least. So how are you?
Now you
ladies?
sound like my daddy. Close that door. The air conditioner's going to get out.
Well,
I don't care if mine gets
I'm-
out. It's only a room one.
I'm going between hot and cold. Like I'm either too cold or too hot today. But I walked out with short sleeves, and as soon as I did it, I got 2 mosquito bites. So I
Yeah.
put the sleeves on. Those bugs are. Every time I used to say every year I see a new bug. Now it's like every day I see a new bug.
You should take pictures and keep track and figure out what they are.
Ugh, I don't want to know.
Have the bug channel.
There you go.
I saw 2 snakes today. Tony thought maybe it was the same one, but they were like an acre apart. I don't think it was the same snake. Then
Oh,
I
they
found
get
out, I did research on garter snakes because there's a few of kinds, and they have live births, and they could give birth to 50 snakes at one time.
Oh,
It's like a
Jesus.
nightmare. nightmare.
At
So
least,
Angie,
at least they're not poisonous. Thank gosh.
Yeah.
do you know that they actually are classified as poisonous? Only the neurotoxin will just give you like a rash or some swelling. They're poisonous to animals, like that they bite.
Yeah.
So, and they're usually this man was holding one and talking about it, and he said he's a teacher, and he said he was holding one for his class, and it kept biting his shoe, and another one bit his hand during his teaching, and I'm like, put the snake down.
Right?
It's like, stop holding them if they're going to keep biting you and stuff.
Yeah. They don't want to be held.
Theresa, I forgot to count my last round.
But the one he had in
One.
his hand looked like it looked like, I mean, I bought rope thicker than that snake. You know what I mean? Like, it was pretty thin.
You'll have to show us when you're done, Anne.
She's going to make a quilt.
She's finished her punch art. We are an open panel.
Angie, you're going to get
Angie and anybody, Ashley wants to come up.
Yeah, why don't you come up?
Yeah, more the merrier.
I can get 10 up here.
Oh, I have.
Anybody?
Dude, I saw this, and I always wanted my own personal fan. Now, you know, like you're postmenopausal when you think of having your own personal fan.
Yes.
Oh.
Or you walk through a swap meet at 100 degrees with 90 degrees humidity. Yeah.
I thought about wearing this, like if I go pick berries when it's really, really hot. At least it blows.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a blow jar, not like a
It does make a difference when you don't have it on, because I went without it for
Hang on, Angie.
and it does make a difference.
When my air conditioner was bad in the car, I got a fan I could hang around my neck, and it blew air up in my face, and it was better.
There you go.
Oh, you got it? I was getting it. There you go. Link has been officially dropped. Who wants to come up? You may come up. You never know what's going to happen. No, you probably do. Bored, maybe a little singing.
We promise.
I was going to say, Theresa may sing to you, but, you know.
Yeah, it might scare a few people. Never know.
I know, I got to get me one of those fingers.
Hello?
There's our sweet Angie.
Who's coming? Hi.
I look kind of rough, but it's okay.
So
Have
You
you
look
not
beautiful
seen
as
it?
usual.
what?
You're beautiful.
I said, she looks beautiful as usual.
So, did y'all hear my
Yes.
warrant for my arrest story?
Well, Dee was telling us a little bit about it.
I'm gonna have to. Did you do a video about it?
I went live today because I got to go in the hospital tomorrow, and I wasn't going to be able to go live tomorrow. So
Okay.
I did it
Wow,
today.
go live from your hospital bed.
Oh, I'm going to go. I mean, I'm taking my computer. There's no way I'm going to live without YouTube for. I mean, that's just not going to happen. But, you know, the nurse that came today was like, she knows I'm hard-headed, and she was kind of giving it a soft blow. But she said, it's only going to be for a couple of days. And I'm looking at my leg going, Angie, it's not going to be a couple of days. That's what's going through my mind. So I said, you don't have to convince me. I know I need to go. I don't want to go, but I know I need to go. And she said, yes, you do. And so James is supposed to take me in the morning about between 9 and 9:30 to get all settled in and everything for them to start the IV. But they also wanted me to come in because they're going to put a catheter in and get rid of some of this fluid that I'm carrying on my body.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I'm looking at probably, I mean, maybe it will be a couple of days, but I can't see an antibiotic working in just a couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, they usually do it at least for 4 days.
Yeah, I would say 5.
But it's usually like a week.
Yeah,
I was in
because
for-
if
I was
that
in for a
antibiotic
week
is
with-
not working, then they
They
have
got
to
to
start
put the PICC
something else.
line in and everything.
Yeah, my husband, he had cellulitis real bad in his leg, and he was in there a good week.
Well, let me
Well,
tell
they
you
put him
how-
on bank, and then he had a rash, that red man syndrome, over his whole body. Poor thing, he was scratching like he had fleas, so they had to change his antibiotics and put him on something else.
Well, you heard the story about me being allergic to aspirin, right?
Yes.
No,
No.
I didn't hear it.
So I don't know why I didn't think of this, but I wasn't thinking. But my physical therapist told me that he saw meloxicam or microbid or something on my chart. And I got to thinking, now, why haven't I been taking that medication? But I had some left here at the house. And he said, just take it for a couple of days. Now, this is what he said. Just take it for a couple of days until your arthritis, it's angry, until it calms down. And this is right before we went on our trip to Louisiana. I mean, to the coast. And he said, you'll have a good trip. So I took it and it made me feel so good. I didn't wake up in the mornings hurting. I mean, it was really doing the job. But unbeknownst to me, not paying attention, it has aspirin in it. Well, it takes about a lot for me to ingest a lot for it to start showing allergic reaction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of just taking the few days that he told me to, what does Angie do? Because it made me feel so good, I decided, well, I'm going to take one of these every night before I go to bed.
No.
You know, so it took about a month, and then I started seeing these different things happening to me. Like my blood pressure was 188 over 110. And they wanted me to go to the hospital last Friday when they took my blood pressure, and I wouldn't go. And so my skin started thinning out. It just started breaking down. Like then I had different color when I'd go TT, like I had blood in my urine and all that. And James was freaking out, saying something is wrong. Something is wrong. Something you've done has caused you to go backwards. What have you changed? And I said, well, the only thing that I changed was I started taking that pill for arthritis, and then I looked it up on the internet, and it says it has aspirin in it.
Oh wow!
I was like, oh my God, James, I'm having an allergic reaction to the medicine. So I immediately stopped taking it. I cut it off. I quit taking it. But the damage was already done to my legs. You know, they just started the wraps. They had been wrapping them now for several months. Well, if they would drop down a little bit, they would just scrape my leg, you know, a little bit. But when they would scrape it, it used to not bother me. But then since I've been taking the aspirin, which is a blood thinner, they started breaking down faster.
Oh,
well,
no.
when that happened, it just went from there to what it is now. And
That's
it just
painful.
Oh, it's very painful, but it's on my good leg. And I said, look here, I can't lose my good leg. I mean, I'm not a thin woman. If I lose both legs, I'm stuck in one place because nobody's picking me up to move me. You know what I'm saying? And if I can't pick my own body up to move from place to place, I'm in trouble.
You're going to be fine.
Yeah, it'll be great once they get me in there, but I'm not looking forward. And this hospital has always been really good to me, except the incident, the one nurse last time, but all that got taken care of. But, you know, it'll be fine.
There's always one in a bunch.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you can count on it. But they had no idea they were going to meet James. But they met him. and
good for him.
And don't you know anybody from Louisiana? They don't hold back. I mean, they're going to tell you exactly what they're going to tell you. And so once he straightened her out, got her to crying and sent her home, it was all right.
I don't blame him, girl.
It was bad. Well, I had to wake him up at 1:30 in the morning.
That was
I told him here at the house, and I told him what was going on. He said, I got it. I'm coming. Don't worry about it. So at 2:00 in the morning, he shows up at the hospital. Not only did I wake him up out of a sound sleep, but it was something that was just ridiculous what they were doing. But it was important to me, you know?
Right.
And I heard him out in the hall. I was like, oh, God. Oh, God.
That was the soda story, right?
So I started texting going, get in this room. Come in my room right now. Leave the nurse's station. They're fixing to throw you out. Come now. It was something else.
Sometimes they need it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have this condition called diabetic insipidus, okay?
Uh-huh.
It has nothing to do with being a diabetic.
Right.
They would come in my room and say, they would take my blood sugar. They would give me tests, and I would say, I'm not a diabetic. And they would look at me like I had two heads. Like
Yeah.
I didn't.
You know what? You should have told them, go look it up.
Yeah, like I didn't know that I wasn't a diabetic. You know, they're thinking I'm a diabetic. I said, the condition I have has nothing to do with being a diabetic. I don't know why they named it that, but
I know.
It's very rare. It's a very rare condition.
One of my babies had that, Angie.
One of what?
One of my babies had that.
Do they? Well,
yeah.
It's very rare. I can't win the lottery, but I can get rare things. Okay.
Oh.
And so anyway, they were just determined that it was about diabetic, being a diabetic. I'm like, it is not. And I have to take drops. Does your baby do the drops?
Well, he passed, but he had a lot of issues, but that was one of the things he had.
Well, see, my sarcoidosis has caused my pituitary gland. That's one thing that it affected, was that part of me that, having that condition. And I take nasal drops every night to control the fluids leaving my body.
They used to give him the nasal.
So when I went into the hospital the last time, the nurse practitioner came in there and she was wonderful. She said, you have been through the last 5 years, haven't you? And I said, yes, ma'am, I have. She said, I have read your chart and I do not know how you have dealt with it. And you have such a good attitude. And I said, well, I can't control any of it, But anyway, she said, can your husband bring your drops in the morning? And because they're real expensive. I mean, these drops are like, I don't know, almost $1,000 a month. And
wow.
And I take 2 drops a night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she said, can he bring them in the morning? Because you're not going to be staying that many days. And if our pharmacy orders them, I don't even know if they'll get here in time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She said, can you make it tonight without your drops? I said, I'm going to get real thirsty, but I can make it until he brings it. I just need to know that y'all going to bring me something to drink when I say I'm thirsty. And she's like, yeah, it's fine. So it got to be later, and I kept asking for something to drink because my drops wore off. And the nurses kept coming in there, and that's when I had called the nurse in there about 1 o'clock and said I would like something to drink. And she said, no, you're not getting anything else to drink. And they had me add a catheter in me and everything. It wasn't like she was going to have to get me up to go to the restroom. And she said, no, we can't give you anything else to drink. And I said, no, ma'am, you don't understand. I have to have it to drink because I have the condition. And if I don't get my drink, I could dehydrate and it's really bad. I have to because my sodium and potassium will get out of whack and it's very dangerous.
Yes.
So she said, no, ma'am, we can't give you anything to drink. So what I do, I just get on my phone and call James, tell him to come up there. So he comes up there and I can't tell y'all what all I heard him say out there at the nurse station. But he said, now get in there or give it to me and I will give my wife something to drink. Obviously, you don't know what this condition is. And when she says she needs something to drink, she needs something to drink because it makes you very, very thirsty.
Mm-hmm.
Like you run a race. I can drink 6 bottles of water straight when I don't have my drops.
Oh, wow.
Like I can't get my thirst quenched. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, Wendy.
Yeah,
I know my baby. We used to be in the emergency room all the time because his sodium level would drop so low, and he'd start having seizures. So, it's something you don't play with.
And but anyway, I told James, I said, number 1, I'm taking my drops with me. That's what I'm gonna take with me. I'm gonna make sure I have them when I go to the hospital. I'm not going without my drops. Number 2, I will have all my other medications too, because when you first go in the hospital, we got to get you in the computer. We got to get your medications in there, and we'll give you your
Wait,
medication when they're
Angie, go on Google, print out a printout on what you have, and
Oh,
make
that's a
sure
good
that
idea.
they're all educated on it.
Yeah,
And
you
tell
got
them, say, look, I've had this happen in the past, so I want to make sure you all are educated on what my condition is.
Well, the lady that was being a smarty and acted like Jane said, do you know what that means? And she said, oh, yes, sir, I do know what that means. He said, okay, tell me what it means. You explain it in your words, the condition of what she says that she has. You tell me. I want to hear it. I heard him out in the hall saying this. She didn't say anything. I thought, she don't know what it means. She honestly don't know what it means. Well, then she starts crying like, she's been caught. She don't know what it means. And all she had to say was, I really didn't know what it meant. Thank you for letting me know what it meant, because next time a patient comes through here, I will know what this means.
Right.
But she took offense to it, and it all went south.
Look, that's one thing I learned in nursing. If you don't know, you say, I'm not sure about it, but I will go look it up. Don't ever say, oh, yeah, I know. And then it's going to come back to bite you.
Well, these days you have a cell phone, look it up and say, no, I don't.
I mean, nobody's perfect. Nobody knows everything,
That's right.
And he said, when the lady said, you get in your wife's room and don't you come out. You have woke up this whole where the rooms are, all the rooms. And he said, well, I wouldn't be up here right now if y'all would do what y'all were supposed to do. He said, my insurance will pay for anything that she wants. Do I need to go buy drinks and put them in your refrigerator for her to have while she's here? I mean, is that the problem? I mean, whatever the problem is, you just tell me and we can fix it. But after that nurse never came back in my room again. He said, I don't want her back in there. I don't want to see her face. I don't want her to touch my wife. I don't want her near her. And then y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but the nurses and you know how word gets around, husband come up here early in the morning, so they come in the next day, and I said, said something about it, one of the nurses is, and I said, and you know what the strange thing is? How do y'all know that I'm not undercover trying to evaluate y'all to see how well y'all are doing?
Exactly.
And I said, I could be writing everything down for them. They may have put me here, even though I have some conditions, just to see and evaluating y'all. You want to be talking about treated like a queen? Girl, they treated me like they would come in there 2 or 3 times. They would want to know if they needed to get me up, put me in the wheelchair. Did I need help? Did I need them to do this, that, anything I wanted? They just turned around and would do anything.
That's good, though.
Yeah.
They should be educated for that.
Yeah.
Well, she should have learned that in nursing school, but
It's good.
It's not something that a lot of people have.
Oh, right. No, it's rare. It's rare.
So then just say, I don't know, but I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Look, before I even got diagnosed with it, I had never heard of it. I didn't know what it was. And
it's like diabetes mellitus or something. Like it sounds in her head. She probably thought, oh, she got plain old diabetes.
Yeah, they were even testing my blood sugar to see if my sugar was up. And I kept telling them, I'm not diabetic. And they would just look at me like, does she have all her I mean, does this woman not realize she's a diabetic? And I'm saying to them, I'm not. But every time they would check my blood sugar, it would be fine. It would not be elevated, low, anything. So that should have told them right there, this woman's not a diabetic. And
the bad part now is you don't see your doctor in the hospital. You have to see a hospitalist. To me, that's not continuity of care.
It's not.
Right. Doctors are just consultants now.
Right.
you know.
And your doctors don't even go to the hospital anymore.
Well, see,
Right.
most of my doctors are in Jackson, which is 45 minutes away from where I live. Now, the hospital I'm going to in the morning is where my general doctor practices, and it's a smaller hospital. So my doctor's in Jackson, which is my neurologist, my endocrinologist, my heart doctor, all them. They'll just get the paperwork of where I was in the hospital and what I come in there for. You know, I won't see any of them.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see them. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. But, you know, I can understand why they thought I was a diabetic, fat, 40, and fair complected. You know, I can see where they thought I probably was a diabetic. That's the three things: fat, fair, and over 40. You have to look for, you know, as far as being a diabetic. And I fit under that category, but, you know, thank the Lord, I don't need being a diabetic with everything else I got, you know.
Right.
But yeah, it's been a mell of a hess. I'm gonna tell you that.
I guess so.
But anyway, the warrant thing was hilarious. But it wasn't, because all I was thinking was, this is gonna make a great YouTube video.
I know
This is
everything.
gonna be awesome.
Content.
Yeah, this is gonna be awesome, man. Angie gets handcuffed and put in, you know, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be wonderful. But then he said, all you gotta do is come to the station and look at the signature, because somebody has obviously forged your name and we need to compare signatures. And I was like, well, that's gonna make a pretty good video. Just I'm gonna have to go to the sheriff's department. So I kind of calmed down and said, that's pretty good. That's pretty good content. And then he said, and don't forget, before you get there, you got to pay your fines. Pay my fines. I don't have any fines. And then I knew, I was like,
She was speeding in her scooter again, huh?
yeah, I'm going down 51 in my scooter and I'm speeding.
Girl.
But when he said that, like they wanted me to give money to them, I said no. I said, I tell you what, you just come get me. I'll be waiting out front. My husband will wheel me out there by the driveway, which I wasn't going to be out there, but I was just joking with him. But I was like,
Tell them
I'll
be
be
prepared
waiting
to pay your medical bills while you're in there.
Yeah, look, that's what I said. I said, y'all don't want me. I'm the most unhealthy person. I'm in a wheelchair. I demand a lot of medication, and I go to the bathroom a lot. So, I mean, y'all do not want me. I'm telling you, y'all do not want me.
Oh my God.
Well, you have your own stainless steel.
Well,
pipe.
Angie, you need to have your doctor write something for you to get out of jury duty.
Well, I got what really had me staying on the call was about a month and a half ago. I did get a jury summons from our local courthouse.
Uh-huh.
And I did have to call my doctor to send an excuse to the courthouse to tell them that I wasn't able to, you know, attend the jury duty. So once they started talking about jury duty, it got my attention. Like, wait a minute, this happened a month and a half ago. Is this happening again? But he kept saying federal jury duty. And I'm thinking, because James got called for federal jury duty one time. The man shows up at the door, had a picture of him, had a big folder on him, you know, like they knew the man they were looking for. And they wanted him to serve on the federal jury, but that's like a year. You have to, when you sign up for federal jury duty, you can be called up to a year to go and serve on that jury of whatever they have.
Right.
I went
What now?
in New York City. I was called for federal.
Did you have to serve?
No, I had to go for a week, and then they dismissed us. They wanted to see if we had to go, like, to be put on a trial, and I didn't, so I was really happy. But it was all the way, like, on the other side of the city from where I live. So, you know, I don't know if anybody knows New York. It was like, I live above Manhattan, and it was all the way at the tip of Manhattan and the bottom, like not too far from where the World Trade Center was. And,
See,
you know,
I used to serve a lot when I was ambulatory and I worked out in the public. I mean, they would pick me every single time. I served on a murder case. I served on several civil cases. I mean, and I didn't mind sitting through it. It was interesting to me. I mean, if they called me to serve, I was like, okay, number one, it gets me out of work. Number two, they only pay you pennies, but you do get something. And
They
you know,
treat you to lunch.
yeah, I mean,
Oh,
they
we
do.
didn't get a
they
lunch.
did it in the Bronx. They used to
We
send
didn't
us
get
out
one.
for lunch.
And well, the one that I served on that was the murder case, they had to keep us. Like they told us to pack a bag and they were gonna put us up in a hotel and we would be transferred every day on a van to the courthouse, that sort of deal.
Wow.
But James got called on one, which we knew the girl that had gotten unalived. And her two daughters played on our softball team that we coached when Taylor was like 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And her husband did it right out in the broad daylight in front of the kids and everything.
Okay.
So it was kind of like a manhunt for him for like 4 days. And they finally caught him and they called
Wow.
James to the jury duty. And James was like, yeah, I know him, this and that. And he was trying to get excused because he thought if he stood up and said, I knew her, I knew the children, I knew the husband, to me, they would excuse you.
Right,
I
they would.
wouldn't.
And they didn't.
Well, they kept calling him back. They wouldn't let him go. And he kept sending me messages when he'd get out, could use his cell phone. He's like, let me go. I don't know. I've told him that I know everybody, just about everybody involved. I mean, we went to church with them. I mean, well, how much more do they need? I will say he is going up. If I'm getting on that jury, I'm voting. Yeah, he did it.
That's all you have to say is he's guilty.
Yeah.
They
Well,
kick you out.
James was on call when we were younger, and he walked in with a guns and ammo magazine. For like you can bring what you want to look at before you get called, because you can sit around and look at and read, or spend time. This was before cell phones.
Yeah.
And he just said, "Give me my hunting and ammo magazine. I'm gonna take it. Maybe they'll excuse me once they see that." Boy, it didn't take them long. They was like, "Mr. Smith, you're excused." So
I told them I knew a homicide cop, and I got off. I mean, they didn't pick me for the jury because I knew it was a murder case once. That wasn't in the federal; it was in regular. But yeah, if you say you know homicide detectives, they won't put you on a murder trial.
yeah,
I mean, at the prosecution
Never
would want you,
past pre-screening.
but not the the defense attorney. They picked me to just bye-bye. Anyway.
if I wasn't as disabled as I am now, I wouldn't mind serving on a jury. I really wouldn't. But I can't see me raising my hand every 2 or 3 hours and saying, I gotta be excused. I gotta go to the restroom.
I know.
I mean, are we gonna have a situation on top of a situation if that don't happen? But and plus with my wheelchair, even though it's electric and I can get around, it's so funny. The buildings that are not handicap accessible.
Exactly.
They are not. And I did not realize that until I become bound to a wheelchair. And I have to be careful. James has to go in before I get out, look around and see if they have handicap accessibility, if they have handicap restrooms. I mean, It's just crazy.
It's true.
Yeah.
Stores are like that too. Everywhere.
So what are y'all making?
I'm making a mug. Hot
Oh,
cocoa,
gee, that's pretty.
some little marshmallows.
Oh, look at the marshmallows. I'm making you big. Let me see the marshmallows. Let me see the marshmallow.
Oh, those are
Oh, those are cute.
And it's going to go in the hot chocolate.
Oh, that is adorable.
I'm working on the mug, but I just had to pull
cute.
2 out.
No, indeed. What are you making?
Me, I am making centerpiece. This is my
Oh,
third
that's
one.
nice.
My
That's
third
nice.
one. I used to crochet years ago, and I just started getting back into it. It's kind of relaxing.
That's very relaxing. Susie, are you making anything?
I'm holding a fan in my chest, so I have air. No, I'm
Okay.
not. I was
She's
painting
making
earlier.
herself comfortable.
Yeah, there you go. I was painting earlier, but it was earlier.
I wish I could paint like Susie does or crochet or anything, but I'm telling y'all, I'm not crafty. I can do, and my grandmother made quilts. She made clothes. She was just,
There's projects in painting that you don't need to be per se, you don't like if you just make like squares or circles and then doodle on them, you don't have to be crafty. You just have to, want to express yourself with paint.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's not all photorealistic, if you know what I mean, right? Like, I mean, I was working on landscapes this week, but when I feel like I'm stuck, I just do something very abstract.
well, it's probably sort of like having writer's block or something. Because I know when I sit down to write or something, and it's a such thing as writer's block, it really is.
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of people don't really understand that unless they write that you can actually, that is a thing.
It is.
You can actually get blocked.
I
You get so frustrated.
It's just like when I get mad at my sewing machine. I shut her off and say, well, I'll see you tomorrow.
I'm done.
Otherwise, I'm going to break more needles.
Yeah. I keep wanting to do a video about the quilt that my grandmother has made. I've got one video up, but that does not even touch the tip of the iceberg of the many quilts that I have that she left me when she passed. But a lot of people love the quilted, which don't get me wrong, I love the quilted. They're beautiful. But the tacked quilts, the ones that are tacked, the ones they use like the crochet thread, and they tie and they call it a tacked quilt. I love the tacked. I guess because they look older, like they look like they come from like back in the 1800s or
that makes sense. Yeah,
something like that. I love the tacked quilts, but I mean the quilted ones are beautiful too. And she hand quilted hers, like she had the thing coming from the ceiling that she would let down that her quilt was already attached to.
Wow.
And she would let it down and she would quilt so much every day.
Wow.
And so she didn't do it on her sewing machine. She actually did it by hand.
Yep.
And so I
feel
really
like that's a lost art almost.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore. Now they have a quilting club.
Do by hand.
They have a quilting club at one of our libraries here in the state that I live in, the little town over. But I still think a lot of those ladies use their sewing machine. I don't think they do it by hand.
Yeah, a lot of them are using sewing machines. I mean, I got my quilter here that I use, but then I also have my embroidery machine that has quilting patterns on it too. So when I do like table runners and stuff, I don't have to put it on the big one. I just put it on my embroidery machine and run a quilting pattern over it.
She made baby quilts for all of her grandchildren and great grandchildren. She made a quilt for all of her grandchildren that graduated high school. They got married. She made a quilt for, whoever was getting married. And I mean, she just was quilting all the time. She had 12 grandchildren, so that tells you how much she was quilting.
Yeah. Suzy, let me see your picture.
Well, this is what I did today, earlier. This is when I got
Myra.
painter's block. And
hey, Myra.
Hi, Myra.
Wow, your flowers are improving.
Oh, I like that.
That is nice.
That is nice.
And then I started working on some landscapes.
Oh,
Wow.
I like that too.
Look at the
that's
shadowing in
pretty.
your mountain.
And then yesterday I was doing this.
I like that.
That's nice.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
look at that,
yeah,
girl.
that's really nice.
Thanks. So that's what I've
Really
been working on.
good.
But I've been taking this sleep medicine and it makes me so groggy in the morning that I don't wake up wanting to paint like I used to. I mean, I have an interest in it, and
It's taking your inspiration away.
kinda. It's giving me like painter's block in a way. Like I wake up and I'm like, all right, I'm here. What do I do? And I sit there and I'm like, yeah, I guess. So I said I just have to put like that's why I made the abstract because I thought, if I just put something down on paper, it's doing, it's painting.
Right.
It gets the creative juices going. So it's
Yeah.
I don't think that this is so spectacular, but if I wanted to doodle on it, I could. And it gives you ideas how the paint works and the colors. So it's better than doing nothing, right? So
Right, I agree. It's better
You
than
don't-
doing nothing.
you don't have to like really like know how to paint to just like sort of do patterns,
Right.
if you're not being, you don't even have to do that. Like you can just do circles or just splashes even people do. So,
I need to send you a picture of my house and let you paint my house. A picture of my
Well,
house.
you're thinking I'm more skilled than I am. I feel. I I don't know.
No, you did
Look
that.
at how much
paint
you've
straight with
changed
that
since you
road and
started.
all that. I mean, you ought to be able to. I mean, my house is simple. It's not anything extravagant. I mean,
My husband was like, paint the dogs, and I'm like, I'm not a good drawer, but so I'm trying to sketch a little bit. It's hard for me. I went to art school for ceramics, and I was actually a metalsmithing, and I made jewelry from metal. I learned how to solder and cut metal and set stones, kind of thing. But I never took a drawing class, and I never took photography. And what do I do now? I do photography and drawing. I mean, painting. I never took painting in school.
right.
But I like it. I mean, I think, there's a lot of videos on YouTube that you could, like, at least start for free. Once you get really rolling, the teachers want to put you on their Patreon. One of the ladies said she gets $16,000 a month. It said it right on the Patreon, like how many members that pay. And
Wow.
I mean, to make over $16,000 a month as an instructor, that's fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
That would
really
give me
good.
an incentive.
All right. When can we start teaching?
That's right.
That would give me an incentive.
I mean, I
Yeah.
paid like 0 pennies on any of the platforms. You know what I mean? Like, so that's amazing. I mean, I was listening to one guy, and he does financial stuff, like talking about investing, and he said when he started out for the first 6 months, he didn't make any money, and then he started talking about how to invest your money, and he started making good money. Now he makes really good money. It like started taking off after like about between like 6 months and a year. He went like up and up and up, and he just does some research, like what money markets are doing well, and there's if you know things about finances like EFTs and funds and ways to invest. And I mean, I don't even know if he's an expert or what.
Numbers are not my thing. No.
Yeah, I
Me
mean,
either, Angie.
I'm not good at math, but I know that there's like certain rules to like how if you get somebody that's in their 20s and you say to them, no matter what, save 20% of your income. By the time you're retired, you will have like $1.5 million.
Well, see, James has always had a 401k since he was 18 years old, since he started working. He's always had it. Always. Never not had it. He's going to retire. Probably he'll be able to retire now with things kind of being the way they are at 62, and he'll turn 59 the 17th of this month. So he's going to try to make it to 62, but I don't know what I'm going to do when he comes home. He says he's going to start his own YouTube channel. And I said, Well,
Ooh.
it's not going to do better than mine, because if it does better than mine, it is not going to be a good around this house. No,
Oh, yeah,
no,
maybe
I
you could
said,
do a duo.
that's why I said we can do it together and have a channel together, but I am not, because James is very, very intelligent. He has like weird facts that he knows that people shouldn't know. You can just say that a subject and he's like, oh yeah, did you know that blah 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 blah, and he can just start talking about knowing stuff about that topic, and it's like, how did you know that? Oh, I don't know, I just heard it, so such and such
Wow.
such and such. And he's really smart like that, and I call him Mr. Jeopardy all the time. He gets aggravated at me for calling him that, but I'm like, James, and when he starts rattling numbers off, it gives me a headache. And I'm like, stop saying numbers. Just say it to yourself, write it down, do whatever. Just don't say numbers out loud, because he'll start saying 120,000, 30% of this, and we take this percentage of that. And I'm like, no, no, no. Do not do that around me. I do not like it. No.
Yeah, Garrett's good with numbers. I'm not. But he's fixing to retire. I said, you're going to do YouTube with me? He goes, oh, yeah, yeah. Now, you think I believe that?
My
My
husband won't do it with me.
my husband's really good at Jeopardy, but he can't, like, if somebody started talking about insurance or like investing, he goes like it goes like, I don't want. He'll watch somebody build a shed from twigs. Like he'll watch somebody
Yeah.
build a house from scratch. Like he'll watch people do a whole garden. He likes that kind of stuff. But anything on investing or insurance or even like retirement stuff, he doesn't want to know about.
Okay, so James is like a sucker for the camera. Okay, he loves it.
Oh, well,
He and his best friend used to make videos when they would go hunting. This is before we even knew anything about YouTube.
Okay.
And I would make fun of them because they would come home and he would show me this video of he and his best friend Van talking about their hunt, and I would go, do you know how childish that is? Do you know how silly that is for y'all to do that? That
It's
does
not-
not even
we
make
could
any
post
sense to me.
Have y'all ever seen the two guys, or it's three guys, they sit in a duck blind and they tell dad jokes? And they try not to laugh at each other. It is so flippin' funny.
I haven't seen that, but I imagine that's something that James would love to watch. He would love to watch that.
Yes.
I
I'll
didn't
have
tell
to
my
send
husband
you- I'll
about
have
it
to
because
send
I
you
don't
the
want
link.
him the dad jokes.
I want
Yeah,
to. I want to see it. Send me a link too. One day.
All right. And they're so funny. I haven't run across them lately, but they are hilarious. And then they try not to laugh at each other.
Yeah, that makes it even worse.
Yeah.
So it is funny. I don't know how Wendy did it, but her husband's cooking supper for her.
Oh, I haven't been looking at the back.
Oh, that sounds good that he's doing that. James will get a reprieve for a few days. He'll come home and I won't be here. He'll probably be partying somewhere. But
He's going to live on Wendy's and...
yeah. Oh, the LSU thing, Dawn.
Uh-huh.
When they were playing the baseball.
Uh-huh.
I cannot express to you. Well, you'll probably understand this from the gut up. The fan that James is of LSU. He is a diehard LSU.
Oh, yes.
He will get down in front of the TV in a football stance, like he's on the field with them. Like he's actually playing it. If they're fixing to make a, play.
He kept watching the last play over and over and over. I'm like, didn't you see that? Isn't it enough? He goes, no. I said, how many more times you going to watch it? He goes, as many as it takes. And he was like getting all mad. And I'm like, dude, watch it however many, but I'm leaving. I'm not.
Yeah, when you told me you were in the other room, I was like, oh gosh, if I was only ambulatory and could move that fast and not have to get up, get in my wheelchair, get it all situated, move out of the room, I would be doing exactly what she's doing. He and my daughter is crazy about LSU, and we would not let her go to college in LSU because first of all, the out of state tuition. Second of all, Louisiana can buy out whole towns of alcohol. Okay.
Yes.
Like when they go on a trip, when they have a traveling game, they buy out the whole town, the alcohol.
Well, you know, we won. LSU won the shots. Like over 50,000 shots they sold for $5 a piece. Now it does go to charity. The money goes to charity. It's one bar that does it, and they won.
But how many
They win
livers
every
did
year.
they give up for that? You know what I'm saying? All
Yeah.
these people drinking these drinks and it's affecting their liver and all this. And okay, you're going to need this money for a new liver, and here you are donating this money. You know,
Right.
but Louisiana, I love them. I've been married to James 38 years, but beer to them, it's like having tea in your refrigerator. It's not something that they think is foreign. You know,
But you know, Garrett, he doesn't unless like like Joe, my oldest son, is here or something. He'll have a beer with one of the kids every now and then. But like for the crawfish ball, he ate some, but he doesn't drink. But he does believe that his blood is purple and gold.
yeah. Well, James had the gastric bypass surgery about 26 years ago, and you can't drink alcohol after you have that surgery. So he hasn't drank since, and he really wasn't a heavy drinker before then. You know, he would drink a beer every now and then, but just going down to his parents' home and being around his friends that he used to, that's why I wouldn't live in Louisiana when we got married. I said, I'm not raising children down here in this place. It is no, I'm not doing it.
Wait, I was flipping through, I guess, TikTok or whatever, and this lady comes on and she goes, "People from Louisiana, what kind of livers do y'all have?" I mean, I don't understand. She goes, "Y'all must have like some supersonic livers or something." She goes, we've been sitting here at this pool, and there's this one guy. He drank, I forgot what she said he was drinking, and they called him in because the weather was bad. So they had to get away from the pool. And she said he drank 5 of them at one sitting. And then she said he started falling over. And she said the next morning he was back again. She goes, "I want to know what kind of liver y'all have." It was like, but no, you know, not everybody drinks that way. But yeah, a lot of them do.
So now both of my 2 granddaughters are in Louisiana. That's where my son lives. Of course, y'all know that. And I'm telling Matt, I said, Matt, I never wanted any of our family to live in Louisiana. I just, you know, it's just now that Dad and I have never lived there, I have a son that lives there. And he said, "Mom, it all starts in your home. You know, if we teach Berkeley and Libby the right way, they're not." I'm thinking, Matt, you went to college. You know what you did. Don't act like you were innocent. Don't do that. Because when your girls get to be teenagers, I'm going to tell them some stories about Daddy going to college. I'm going to tell them. And he just laughs. But I'm like, you wasn't brought up with beer in the home and drinking and all that. And I know when you left for college, I know what you did, Matt. And which I can't blame him. I was a teenager once too. I did it. So, you know.
I mean, people go to college and buy, you know, you buy a pitcher of beer at the pub and
yeah.
I mean, well, we did.
Angie, Angie's Oddities. She said it's bad there too.
I think it's, you know, alcohol is the kind of thing that it depends on the person. Some people have a taste for it and some people don't. I don't have a taste for it now, but partially it's because I had a gastric bypass, and if I have one sip, I get drunk. And
I'm not saying people that drink are bad. I just think it's funny that Louisiana is like that.
Exactly.
I have some very good friends. I mean, a lot of friends that drink and are fun. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have anything against responsible drinking. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, there's the word responsible. I know some people that overdo it, and I don't want to be around them. But other than that, it's like, you know, I've been to parties where people just laugh a lot and have fun. But I've also been to the parties where, you know, I was brought up in the 70s and the 80s. You know, we did other things. They called it my husband's always like, you pot people, and I'm like, I'm not a pot person, and that sounds really square and fogey. You sound like an old fart when you call me.
And what I would say, if that was James saying that to me, I would say, yeah, baby, you got that right. Ooh, it was so good. I need to go back. I would just egg it on. I'd be like, you right. That's me. That's who I am. You married me. You made that choice.
That's right.
That's right.
And because like he always thinks every time we pass a skunk, it's like people smoking pot. So, and he said that I can't tell what pot smells like because I've smoked pot, and I go, that's crazy.
Oh, you'll know what it smells like if you've ever been around it. You don't ever forget that smell. You know.
Right.
No, you're right.
I know, but I know sometimes the skunk really is a skunk.
Oh, and it stinks.
We call it skunk weed.
It just stinks.
Look, I have the medical vape, and it's like it stinks and it tastes horrible, but it works. So,
but I feel like I need to do that, and my doctors have said, if you want, we have no problem. If you want to go that route, that's fine. But I would have to do the gummies or the brownies or something like that, because if James was around it and he got popped at work and he came up hot,
exactly,
and they thought he was doing it, then he would lose his job.
Yeah, I don't do it like around Garrett because he's still working, but I don't do it that often. But yeah, now I had one doctor tell me make Rice Krispie treats because the heat doesn't affect it because it doesn't get that hot.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes, try that first, but I don't know. The gummies are so expensive though. It's
yeah,
almost
they say it's very expensive.
You get
a bag of 20.
You can put a drop in hot chocolate or in coffee with cream, and then you can have it that way. And the cream or butter kind of just like lets you get the effect. Mm-hmm. So it's a carrier for it. So
right, I used to use the drops that go under your tongue.
Yeah.
Because that was all that was approved in Louisiana for medical.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But now they do all kind of crap. So when I went to talk to the pharmacist, they have their own pharmacist, and he goes, well, try the vape. And I'm like, but does it have all the stuff in it like regular vapes? And he goes, oh, no. It's all, just the stuff. But I don't like it.
It irritates my throat.
It burns. Yeah, it burns.
Yeah.
Well,
and then I start gagging, and Garrett's like, really?
I think it'd be safer to take the gummies than the vape.
It is.
Yeah, I think so too. Because see, I smoked for a lot of years. I was a smoker, and I mean, I've been quit for like maybe 10 years now, and I don't want to get back in that habit of bringing something to my mouth.
Yeah, right.
And because on any given day when I might have a little stress, if somebody was here that offered me a cigarette, I don't know if I could turn it down, because you always have that desire.
Yeah,
exactly. But here's the thing: I can't stand to smell it anymore.
No,
and I can't stand to be around it. But you still have that desire to do it,
right?
If you ever smoke for a lot of years,
I did almost 25
so I don't
years.
want to get in that habit of, I don't want to do that. But if it'll cause me to stay out of pain, I guess I can.
But
do it.
You might like the drops, Angie.
Mm-hmm.
But make sure if you do, get the ones. Well, like they had some made at Southern and some made at LSU. Well, the ones at LSU, they flavor it like with mint, but the ones from Southern it was just taste like you were chewing on a piece of marijuana blunt or something. It was disgusting.
Ole Miss has a program that they do that, and they have this big field that's all locked up. Because when Matt went to school at Ole Miss, we went and toured the campus, and we went by there and everything, and there's a big thing that it's a write up on the door about it and all that, and it's under lock and key. I mean, it's really some kind of thing, but I can imagine with a lot of college students. But
you know it.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's like, I have anxiety. I get migraines. So like, give me a card.
Yeah. That, I mean, I understand where you're coming from, because I feel the same way. But I don't want to go back to. I would never want to go back to smoking again.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that at all.
I hear you.
Ever.
I mean, they sell like the cookies there and all kind of stuff. But the gummies are like almost $80 for a bag of 20.
Yeah.
And I'm
Is that
thinking,
not
well,
crazy?
I know. And it's like, well, damn.
Can you take half and see if it works?
Yeah, I mean, you can cut it. You know, so I was thinking, well, I'll get the stronger one and cut it into pieces. Then you would maybe get more for your money. But the more milligrams it is, the more expensive it is. So,
Yeah.
So I don't know how big y'all's store
hey,
is.
Debbie.
Hi, little Debbie.
Hi,
Hey,
Debbie.
We're on
Oh,
your
the
side.
dispensary here is huge. It's in Baton Rouge.
look how many different things they have. How
I
do
know.
you choose? I mean, they
Well,
have so many choices.
You're a pop person.
Like,
That's so funny. I'm going.
you know,
Debbie says,
I'll take
order
some
it
of that,
online,
some of that,
dude.
some of that.
Can't
Well,
order
one
it
thing good is that where I go, you can request to talk to the pharmacist, and he'll help you figure out what your needs are and which one's best for you.
They made us do that in New Jersey when they had just like the medical stuff. They made you speak to a counselor. So,
But they have actual pharmacists here, so
Oh, they
Yeah,
make me speak to
actual
a counselor.
brokers
I'm
here.
gonna act crazy. They're gonna say, "Oh, that woman needs all she can get." Well, let's see
You
what
know,
we can find for her.
the counselor is just saying like, what are your main issues? And then she would say like, well, if you want to take it for pain in the day, take this. And if you want to take it for pain in the night, take that. And that's what she was doing really.
yeah.
And she goes, if you wanted something that would like make your arthritis feel better, so you could maybe
I would like to have some for arthritis and my pain because it just when I wake up in the morning, I am hurting so bad that I don't even want to go to sleep at night because I know when I wake up
I
that I'm
know.
going to be in so much pain. And
It's
I guess that's why I fight sleep at night because I know I'm going to be hurting so bad when I wake up. It takes me to about 10:30 to really get to where I want anybody speaking to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I'm hurting so bad. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ever since the berries are getting like ready, I have to pick berries every day. My hands are aching, my wrists are aching, and I wake up with that backache, and it's like I'm having a flare. And I don't usually feel it in my hands this bad, but it like just moving my fingers so
They're
much.
angry, Susie. They're angry. That's what they always say. Your arthritis is acting up. It's angry. I'm like, yes, it's angry. It's hurting really bad.
Right.
Debbie's got something you guys can look up. It says, look up cannabis to go.
Yeah, but can they mail that to states that aren't?
Some states.
It isn't legal.
See, but it
only
is
the
legal here
medical
in
is legal
Mississippi.
here. Only the medical is legal here.
Yeah. The medical is illegal here. I don't think the other is.
Yeah, but the medical's legal here, but they just told us that they're discontinuing doing the pills because it's not recreational enough. It's too medical.
Oh, okay.
Too medical.
Recreational is legal in New York, so you're saying they're not letting you do.
Instead of the people making the pills, the gummies, and all that stuff, instead of making the pills anymore because it's not as profitable. Because that's more for medical people.
Yeah.
They're just going to sell the other stuff.
The gummies.
Yeah. I mean, the place where I go, they
And the
have the
flour,
tinctures, the lotions, all that, the patches.
They have lots.
My vape is $70 and it has between 70 and 80 and it's got like 200 puffs on it. That's it. And I can do it every 10 minutes if I have to. Like Sunday, I had to do it almost every 10 minutes to get rid of my migraine. So, I mean, I'm going 1, 2, like counting them down.
Little tally marks,
I know. It's like, shoot.
But price around because in New Jersey, it's legal for recreational now. But they'll say today we have like 20% off this vape, or we have we have a special on that, gummy or something. So you could kind of like,
they sent me a promotion. Yeah, they sent me a promotion, but it was on the flowers.
Yeah.
I can
It's
just
still
see
very
your
expensive.
kids, Dawn. She's up to 180, y'all.
Yeah.
Don't have but a few more pups.
Y'all better watch
straighten
out.
up. She's just gonna get loose. Y'all better watch it.
Oh my God.
That's what my family be doing.
Yeah, mine too.
Wow.
My drink injection is like it makes me extra hungry. I don't want that. That
Oh,
Right.
I don't need that. That's one thing I don't need.
yeah, I don't need
No,
that.
that's
Yeah.
Like,
Mine doesn't
don't.
make me hungry. I looked for one that didn't give you like make you hungry.
Tell
Yeah.
me which one it is. Does
Which
anybody
one
ever-
mine is?
No,
Well,
I mean
I'm already on steroids that make me eat. I don't need that to make me
I'm on
eat on top of
steroids,
it.
you know
too.
what if it's
Mine is called
Steroids,
Blue
you don't have a
Dream.
chance.
Blue Dream? Oh, I think
No,
that
I'm on steroids, but you can get one
is that
helps you
Is
not
that
eat.
Select brand?
A steroid?
No,
This is the brand.
the
Oh,
marijuana.
the other. Okay, I got you.
I'm going to ask my doctor about the steroid that helps you not eat.
See, I've gotten down to 7.5 on my milligrams of steroid, but I can't get off now because I've been taking it for so long. I'll get down to 1 milligram and I'll have a relapse, and I'll have to start back over at 10.
Right.
And I mean, I hadn't been able to get off in like 2 years, and because my body's dependent on them now. You know, they started me out at 80 milligrams
Oh
a
wow.
day when I got diagnosed. I went
Mhm.
from 179 pounds to 250 pounds, being on 80 milligrams of steroids.
yeah, steroids are.
And they break your body down. They destroy it. They absolutely destroy it.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
for a short time use for steroids, it's a wonderful thing. It's wonderful, but not long term. Not long
Right.
Not
term.
after 20 years.
And then if you have diabetes,
you can
it's not
relate,
good for
Theresa.
you.
If you've been on them that long, you can relate.
At least 20, yeah.
It's either going to be my autoimmune disease that unalives me, or it's going to
Yep.
be it's going to be the steroid. It's going
Exactly.
to be one or the other. It's just a matter of time to see which one meets the maker. That's going to be my demise.
Are you
But,
on hydrocodone?
do y'all have to pay for?
No. I didn't mean that one. Hydrochloroquine. No. Or Plaquenil. Yeah.
Wait, are you talking about the name of the steroid?
No. That's I'm on hydrocortisone or whatever.
That's a heart, or is that a heart pill?
Mm-mm. I
A
don't
water
take
pill? What is that?
No, it's a malaria pill, actually.
Okay, because Dawn, do y'all have to, and Suzy, do y'all have to originally pay for the card, go to the physician, one of the things, pay them, then pay to get the card, and then pay to get your.
Not in New Jersey or in like Massachusetts or New York right now, or like Colorado, lots of states, California. There's a plenty of states that are legal now, but like here in Pennsylvania, you need to get a card through a doctor, but they have it online now, so you can go on Groupon, believe it or not, and find a special where like they would have $20 off or $80 off the initial consultation. So. And they'll do the paperwork for you to get the card. So,
that's hard. Paperwork.
But like back in the day, it was like $200 for the doctor.
Yeah, my cousin paid
Right.
$200.
Mine only cost $75 a year. $75 a year. You talk to the lady the first time on the thing, and a televisit takes you 25 minutes. Bada bing, bada boom. And they're done. All you have to do is show your ID, your insurance card, and you're done.
I was seeing a neurologist from Our Lady of the Lake in Baton Rouge.
Not here.
And he would, but they don't give you the actual card. They call it in
have
to
to
the
have it here.
dispensary. And I
Dawn,
couldn't get
you
my
have probably
appointment.
seen my daughter-in-law and didn't even realize it. My daughter-in-law is over the ICU pharmacy at Our Lady of the Lake.
Oh, okay. Well, I was seeing Dr. Calamari.
That's
Calamari.
I was gonna say fried calamari is really good.
Yeah, no, Calamari.
I'm hungry.
So I couldn't get to him because my card had expired and I didn't realize it. So I had to wait like 6 months.
Oh my God.
The dispensary that I go to gives you
I can't get it, Wendy. I'm
like
sorry.
they have a list of doctors and the first visit was free. So I got this card for nothing, and then my next one it'll be like $50.
Hold on, I'm not trying to make fun or anything, but Wendy liked it when the thumb went up, so I thought I'd throw the
Oh
fireworks.
yeah, we don't mind, Teresa. Just throw it all out there, honey.
Just showing off that fancy computer. Her and
Um,
Suzy.
I don't have. I'm on my iPad, so I can't do it now. It's not working. I should see.
Yes,
If I,
don't forget the thumbs
how
up.
do you get that feature? What is that?
It's a MacBook. It's a
It's
book,
called the
Apple product.
or something.
It's
It's
a
Well, I have
fancy
Apple.
computer.
That's all
It's
I
an
use is
Apple.
Apple.
It works on your phone too.
Well, see, I didn't know that because I have a iPhone, so
Yeah, it works on your phone. You just have to do your little symbols.
go into the camera settings and like check reactions, and then you could do like thumbs up or heart or that. But like I would have needed somebody to read off the
My thumb has been up, ma'am.
settings and reactions. Is that what you went to?
My phone just
go to
did
the
it. I don't
camera
know.
settings. Go to the camera or video settings, and then like check the box for reactions.
For video settings.
Y'all, it is flooding right now. And what y'all do not really comprehend, I'm about to tell you, is when I have to get out in my wheelchair. Y'all know I've been stuck in my yard twice
Oh
in my
no.
wheelchair. So here it is. I can hear the rain if I'm going to be able to get out in the morning to make it to the hospital in my wheelchair. We're also in the process of building a sidewalk around from my front door to around to my driveway that I can ride on, so I don't have to get into the yard to go through the yard in my wheelchair.
Right.
But we have had so much rain this season
Oh,
that the guy that come and gave us an estimate on doing the sidewalk cannot come and do the sidewalk because it rains every single day.
Here too.
It been rain.
been bad. I like a lot of our plants got destroyed from these storms, like because we keep having really bad winds and all the branches on the berry trees like they're broken, and we
James
have
and I were talking about we've never seen this kind of rain. We had it in the winter. We thought, okay, it's just winter. Then it came in the spring. April showers brings May flowers. You know, that's okay. Now it's going into the summer. It's like, where is all this rain?
Right?
You know?
it's like it's heavy rain too. It's not
Yes. Thunder
nothing.
and lightning and
We're getting tornado warnings a lot. Like we never, like we were here, well, only here a year, but like, you know, last year it didn't happen once. Now this year, like every month we have to go sit in the basement. Like why? But you know, and
I get you on the weather, but see, you know, I have a pacemaker. So when I go outside and right before it starts raining, if it has a streak of lightning, I'm gone.
can
I'm
you
like,
put
I don't
cardboard
care
down?
what's going on outside of the kids. James is out there or whatever. They can look around and Angie's back in the house. I don't want that ride coming down here and hitting this metal
Oh,
inside
Yeah.
of me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I gotta go. See y'all later. I'm going in.
can you put something down like so you could ride on like some like plywood or cardboard or something just to get to the car in an emergency?
I asked James about that, but I'm not really sure his answer to that. But I have asked him that before. But he has to always go outside and walk it like step and say, okay, I think it's safe. And I'm like, no, you can't think it's safe. You got to know it's safe. Because I don't want to get stuck. I've been there, done that, and it's not fun. Okay? So you've got to know.
We're getting stuck. What happened?
Oh, we lost Theresa.
Uh-oh.
We're
I know they
getting
were having bad weather.
like cars and our lawnmower. Like we
Oh,
haven't
she lost internet, she said.
in some spots of this.
I thought I could hear the rain through her.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell y'all, ladies, it's about time for James to be home, and I got to discuss this hospital stay with him tomorrow.
Okay.
So I've
We'll be praying
enjoyed
for
it.
you, Angie.
All
I
right,
wish
thank
I
you.
could
I've
visit
enjoyed,
you.
and I'll be in the chat when y'all are having auctions and stuff. But I'll keep y'all updated.
All right.
All right, yeah, please do.
All right.
And we're praying for you,
All
honey.
right.
Take
Bye
care.
bye. Love y'all.
Bye.
Y'all.
Well, I was going to say I wanted to be out of here shortly because I didn't have supper yet, and I like to take my evening medicine at 8:30 now. I'm trying to take it earlier so I can wake up in the morning and not be groggy. So we'll see.
Oh, she said the storm is closer. She may be out for a while.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably get off here too.
I'm going to get off.
All right. Well, guys, thank y'all for coming. We appreciate y'all. And
everybody in the
we
chat.
will see you guys tomorrow. We got East Coast resellers tomorrow, so we'll see you then.
All right,
All right,
everybody.
guys.
Take care.
Good night.
Good night.